Hello everybody, I'm Danger Gen Vex, and today we're doing another Would You Rather episode. I'm not even going to toy around today because the first decision isn't even something to talk about. I mean, the blue option is snort one crushed up Altoid mint or spearmint, or take a shot of Tabasco sauce. Let's be honest, okay? Unless you are completely out of your skull crazy, there is no point for you to sniff an Altoid mint, because then your nose is going to end up burning, your throat is going to end up burning, everything else is going to end up burning, it's going to burn for a while and feel uncomfortable, and everything's probably going to smell and taste like mint. However, if you take a shot of Tabasco sauce, it's going to burn a bit, you drink a bit of milk, and it's over. You snort that mint, and your shit's going to burn until the cows come home. Therefore, the solution for me, or the answer for me, is simple. I will take a shot of Tabasco sauce, and I will chase it with a glass of milk. And 64% of people agree with me. I mean, it's logic, people! Would you rather have two sets of twins or quadruplets? What kind of question is this? For those of you who have been watching some of my videos, you should know by now that I have very clearly stated outright that I do not want to have children. In fact, I think I said it very clearly in the last Would You Rather episode. Speaking of the last Would You Rather episode, thank you so much for your comments. I really enjoyed reading them, especially since we were on the topic of adoption. However, that is neither here nor there for this episode. Back to the question. So, would I rather have two sets of twins or quadruplets? Obviously, I don't have a choice here because I can't do what I want to do, which is neither. I would not like to have two sets of twins. I would not like to have quadruplets. I would not like to have 4 children in my life. However, having these two choices, I will have to say, and the answer for me is once again very logic based, I would rather have 2 sets of twins. Why? Because it's easier to take care of 2 kids and then take care of them again when you've had some practice, rather than taking care of 4 of them at the same time. I am a human being. I am not a superhero. Thank you. So, have 2 sets of twins. And 78% of people agree with me. I would wager that the 22% of people who did not agree are probably not parents, or they have a kind of fantasy of what it would be like to have quadruplets. No thank you. Would you rather never be able to leave your native country or never be able to drive? At first glance, and this is actually the first one I can actually elaborate a bit upon, but at first glance, the choice would seem to be very simple. Never be able to leave your native country for somebody who would love to see other parts of the world is a nightmare. At the same time, I am able to drive, obviously. I have my own car, I have a driver's license, ish, but to not be able to drive, to have to be dependent on other people driving me around, I think it would drive me batty. Because if I want to go visit someone, I want to go visit someone. If I want to go explore somewhere, I want to go explore somewhere. If I want to run my groceries just before the shops close, or in the middle of the day, or, if I want to do something that requires me to leave the house at any point in time and requires me to drive, I want to be able to do it when I want to do it, and not when somebody is willing to take me. Now, there is a flip side to this. I traveled a lot in not my previous job, but the job before that. I traveled a lot through Africa, and naturally, I didn't drive in any of these countries. I had a driver. I always had somebody who drove me around. Now, I'm not saying that that's what I'll be doing if I were to actually start traveling for myself. There is a way to get around never being able to drive. Just get somebody to do it for you. Get yourself a driver, and, just extend that privilege to your current living, to where you're living. I can't afford to do that at the moment, but if you can afford to travel the world, you can afford to pay someone to drive you around when you need it. Uber, taxis, you know what I mean? So, like I said, at first glance, it's very easy, and then you think about it a bit, and it gets a little harder, and then you just extend your logic by a smidge, and you decide that you would rather never be able to drive yourself rather than be stuck in this country, because I want to see Egypt, and I want to see Greece. I want to see the Oracle at Delphi, and I want to see the pyramids, and I want to go riding in the Sahara, and I want to explore the Amazon, and, I want to go... I want to see ancient sites all over the world, including Australia's massive rock, for what it's worth. Regardless, I would love to see these places and go everywhere, and I do plan on one day relocating to a different country. It's always been a desire of mine. So to be told that I can never leave my native country is just not an option for me. Therefore, as I said, I would rather never be able to drive. Only 42% of people agree with me. But, then there are those people who are just very, very happy with where they are. So, I can understand that, and good for them. Would you rather always look 8 months pregnant or always have a black eye? Ay, what kind of questions am I getting? Now, the question is explained. It says you would not actually be pregnant or experience the side effects. The black eye would be constant and you would not have to be hit repeatedly. Okay, so I'm not pregnant. I just look like a waddling whale. And I don't have a black eye. I just look like I have a permanent black... Well, I have a permanent black eye. I just look like somebody's beating the crap out of me all the time. It's still a horrible choice, though. I don't want to look like I'm always 8 months pregnant, and even though they say you wouldn't experience all the side effects, there are some things that you would have to experience, like having to fit into clothes while being, yay big, and, out of proportion, and... the difficulty with walking, and I hear that the sleep is a nightmare when you're pregnant. You just can't get comfortable. Always having a black eye. I don't know. Do I have raccoon eyes today? Yeah, I always have raccoon eyes. I just don't get enough sleep. But I could probably turn it into a pretty cool tattoo. Tattoo the entire area around my eye black. And then, maybe put a strap or two and call it an eye patch. And I don't know, you could probably have a lot of fun with a black eye. And since you're not experiencing the negative side effects, you wouldn't be feeling that constant pain. So I think I would rather have a black eye that I can tattoo and make look all funky, rather than, waddling around feeling like I have, balls tied to my waist, heavy cannon balls tied to my waist. I know I'm digging a hole of some kind for myself here, so please forgive me. But yes, I would rather always have a black eye, and 88% of people agree with me. Would you rather wear only skin-tight clothing or wear clothes that are much too big? Now, I think I've said before, I'm not a stick person, okay? I'm not a sticky girl, and I will never be. There are just reasons that I will never be. I could be thinner, I could definitely be thinner, and I know that. But I'm not a stick figure, and I don't want to be a stick figure. I am very, very proud of my curves. Thank you very much. I'm all women. Regardless of that, I just feel more comfortable. Some of you might have noticed by now, I like my nice, comfy, clothes and I like being comfortable and wearing things that I like to be in and that I can spend a lot of time in. When it comes to skin-tight clothing, I don't know, I feel like it rides up into places where it doesn't belong. It just makes it difficult to breathe. It's uncomfortable and nasty, and I don't know, I know there are those who probably swear by skin-tight clothing and always say, I was told at one point all the time by people I knew, you should wear tighter clothing, you would look better. Maybe. And then on the flip side, maybe I just feel like I was a whale trying to squeeze into a squirrel outfit. I don't have anything to compensate for, and I don't feel like I need to do that to be hot. So, in all honesty and realistically, I would rather wear the clothes that are too big. It's not this or that, but I'd rather feel comfortable and not look, like this incredibly sexy thing according to current public social opinions, not my own or all people's, by the way, than wearing the skin-tight clothing and wishing I could just commit suicide every second of the day. So yes, I would rather wear clothes that are much too big. And 58% of people have common sense. Would you rather be muscular with a busted face or be busty with a gorgeous face? Well, I don't know. If I was a guy, I would probably go with be muscular with a busted face. But right now, I think I am pretty happy with number 2. No thought required here. I have the, tit for tat. So, be busty with a gorgeous face. 74% of people agree with me. And just to clarify, this is nothing to do with the gorgeous face. This is because number 2 is true. Well, at least the first part of number 2 is true. If the rest of number 2 is true, it's for you to judge, not for me. Because I always feel like I'm gorgeous, unless I'm really having a really shit day. Then I feel like, the dog's turd on the doorstep. But yeah. Would you rather die slowly but not much pain, or die fast with a lot of pain? That's a tricky one. What would be die slowly but not much pain? If I died over the course of 5 years and I had to deal with a constant ache, at some point it's going to become almost too much to deal with because it never goes away. And you might get used to it, I guess. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to, at some point it's going to start feeling a bit like a handicap, I think. And I wouldn't want that. If I could choose then between that and say drowning to death or burning to death quickly or dying in a massive explosion. There would probably be pain involved for a few seconds, excruciating, mind-numbing pain. But it would be over quickly and then it would be done. You wouldn't have to live your life with it for an extended period of time. And I know it probably sounds brutal, and some people might say you don't know what you're talking about, and it's rather better to try and fight it out. Take as much time as you can. But I've always said to my family and my friends as well, I want to go quick and I want to go out with a bang. So train crash, plane crash, skydiving and my parachute doesn't open, because that would be one hell of a ride. My ideal way to die is out in space, I want to be out in space and ejected out of an airlock without a spacesuit, and then spend my last few seconds as I die out in space, just looking at the universe and the galaxy, and because I want it to be at a point where we can travel outside our galaxy, just to clarify. But I want to look at the galaxy and just be able to experience it with nothing between me and the rest of space. And I know how weird that sounds, but that is just me. It doesn't have to be you. You don't have to agree with it. Just respect what I want, okay? So I'm gonna say die fast with a lot of pain. And I'm not surprised that only 25% of people agreed with me, because who would want to go out in a lot of pain? I think for me, the biggest factor is it's quick. It's quick and it's done. And that is enough for me. Would you rather become a Pokemon trainer or attend Hogwarts? I think we've just found our question of the week, because this is a nice little light-hearted question to end the episode on, and it's not something, we haven't really had light-hearted questions the last few episodes. So this is what we're gonna have as our question for this week. Would you rather become a Pokemon trainer or attend Hogwarts? Now, I'm biased. Okay, I'm very, very biased, because I've been I've kind of outgrown it, but for a large part of my life, I was a Potterhead through and through. I had the books, all of them, collector's editions. I had, goodies, and I played the games, and I had the entire, chess set with sound effects, and I had everything. And although I did do some of the Pokemon stuff, I played a little bit of the Pokemon games. I played VDEX for a while, which was a browser-based Pokemon game. And I played Tazos, Pokemon Tazos. I have no idea what they call them in the rest of the world. We just call them Tazos, little circles with the Pokemon printed on top, and you throw it down on a pile and face up, face down, win, lose. Yeah, you get the idea. So that is the extent that I was ever involved in Pokemon. When Pokemon Go came out and the world went nuts, I went, eh. So for me, it's a very simple choice. And it's not just that, okay? Even knowing about Pokemon and knowing Hogwarts. Okay, so as a Pokemon trainer, I would have all these great monsters pocket monsters, Pokemon. I would have all these great little monsters doing my bidding and close, my own little, I don't know, who would be my favorite? Eevee. I had my little Eevee or whatever. And, that would be cool and fun and great, I guess. But it doesn't appeal to me, really. Now, attending Hogwarts, that would make me a witch. And I can wave a wand around and do magic-y stuff and just have fun and live in a mystical world. And, I'd probably attend Hogwarts after Voldemort. Actually, yeah, I would. I think I would attend Hogwarts after Voldemort, going by the book's timeline. So, yeah, that would have been great. It would have been fun. I would have been an awesome Slytherin, or I would have actually been, I would have gotten into any of the other 3 houses, because in my personal opinion, no real snake would ever be caught in the houses of the snakes. Anyway, so for me, the decision is relatively simple, and now explained to you. I would rather attend Hogwarts and be this awesome witch than become a Pokemon trainer. And it's a close call indeed. 49 versus 51%. Well, I'm not too surprised. It's a very diverse fan base, and it would really depend probably on what the individual person feels at any point in time. Anyway, I think we're going to leave this episode here. So remember, our question for this week is, would you rather become a Pokemon trainer or would you rather attend Hogwarts? But thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave me a like down below. But thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!